Hello viewers, Elements 118, and welcome to what is not a World of Tanks replay, because A, it's not World of Tanks, and B, it's not a replay. I am in fact showing you for the first time World of Warships, which went into open beta test last week. Now, because there is no replay system, or at least I can't find it, all of what I'm going to be showing you in this video is going to be live, with live commentary. So I don't know what's going to happen, but in this episode I want to show you some destroyer footage. Now, as you can see here, you are looking at the Tier 2 Japanese destroyer, the Umikaze. I also have the Tier 3, the Wakataki. I'll show you one game in each, and show you what destroyers are all about in World of Warships. So, without further ado, let's have a go. I have to say I was quite excited when I found out that World of Warships Open Beta was coming. God, I was excited. And it certainly did not disappoint. It's an absolutely brilliant game, I think. Now then, I'm in a Tier 2 ship and it's a Tier 2 match, but the tiers in World of Warships don't really matter so much as they do in World of Tanks. Any ship of any tier can damage any ship of any other tier, whereas that's not necessarily true in World of Tanks. As you may see. Now then, here we are. We're on a map called Islands, and it's a domination mode, which is not the same as it is in World of Tanks, the special mode that's running. Simply, domination mode includes 3 bases, labelled A, B and C. You can see them over there and on the minimap. By capturing these zones, we gain points. I think it's 3 points every 5 seconds. But you also gain points for destroying enemy ships, and lose points for well, losing our own ships. Oh look! Oh, and 1,000 points is the winning total, by the way. Now there's an enemy cruiser spotted. Now my torpedoes, I'm not going to use my guns because that's just going to give my position away. But if I use my torpedoes, which have an 8-kilometer range, fire them well ahead of the enemy. And I'm going to turn around. Yeah, those torpedoes are never going to hit. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not very good at this game yet. Still, at least the torpedoes reload very quickly on the Umikaze. Well, they're outside of gun range anyway. So apparently the thing with Japanese destroyers, their torpedoes tend to be very good, but their guns tend to be quite awful. And firing the guns, in most cases, to be honest, in a Japanese destroyer is completely unnecessary. You need to use stealth and torpedoes to take out the enemy. Now then, what's that enemy doing? He's looking vulnerable. But there's an allied ship ahead of me, and the #1 rule when driving a destroyer is never fire torpedoes in front of an enemy ship. Oh, he's gone now. Alright, we'll aim at a different one with the second spread. I will know when I've been detected, by the way. There's a World of Warships version of Sixth Sense. It's called Situation Awareness. A little notification will appear towards the top right if I get spotted. but being as I'm in a destroyer, my surface detectability range is very low. It's 5 point something kilometers, I think, in the Umikaze. Battleships and cruisers, of course, have a much higher surface detectability range because they are much bigger. Again, that guy is in range, but there's a friendly cruiser in front. And the enemy team have captured point B, which means they're starting to gain points. Looks like I need to get in there. Again, I'm not very good at this game. Do not expect anything spectacular. Which way is he going? He seems to be just sitting there. Well, that's interesting, because he's in torpedo range. There we are, torpedoes away. Well, I can't turn to port. Port, by the way, is left, starboard is right, for anyone who is not that familiar with naval terms. Actually, I might as well use this gun. The gun's on this guy. Well done, such low health. Even that was going to kill him.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Lovely. And now, me and this cruiser over there are starting to take back point B. Now I've been detected. You can see that little exclamation mark has just appeared. Oh, looks like he's a sitting duck as well. Well, torpedoes away. Oh yeah, looks like one of the earlier torpedoes I launched hit and caused flooding. You can see health gradually being drained away from that guy. We've captured point B, by the way, and now there's an enemy destroyer over here. My torpedoes are back up. Now, you don't generally use torpedoes against a destroyer, but desperate times call for desperate measures. And, yeah, there's certainly not going to hit. Right, I'll have to use the guns then. Cool. I am lucky he was not aiming torpedoes at me. I'm so bad with this aiming.
Torpedoes to start.
Oh dear. Well, as I said before, I'm not very good at this game yet. And that obviously cost me my life there. Now then, instead of waiting for this battle to finish, I'm going to exit to the port. Yes, it's called a port, not a garage, of course, because it's full of ships, not vehicles. And I will now enter into a battle with my Tier 3 Japanese destroyer, the Wakatake. The guns, again, aren't particularly good. And in fact, the torpedoes only have a 7-kilometer range. But it doesn't matter. It's still good enough for Tier 3, and certainly better than the Tier 3 American destroyer, which is called the Wix, I think. Notice, by the way, when you're driving a ship in World of Warships, you don't have to hold down W or whatever key you use to go forward. It's all cruise control, except for turning, of course. Well, actually, you can set. There is a cruise control setting for turning. I don't use that. Haven't got to grips with that yet. But it's all on cruise control, which means I'm not currently pressing anything. same map again. This is a low tier map. It's actually quite a small map, characterised by the fact that battleships like that one over there tend to get spotted the moment the battle starts. But it doesn't really matter because no ship has that kind of range on their guns anyway. Or torpedoes. I've been detected. Yep. Enemy destroyer in sight. Now he's out of torpedo range. Alright. I'm in trouble. So I'm going to deploy a smoke screen, which will attempt to conceal me. And what you absolutely must not do, unless it's desperate circumstances, what you must not do is lay a smoke screen and then start firing your guns, because that'll just give your position away. Okay, torpedoes in the water. Hopefully that cruiser will come round and fall into the trap. I'm going to have to leave the capture zone in order to get safe. Turn the ship around. You can see the remnants of my smoke screen there. Doesn't look like the cruiser came around the island, which means all those torpedoes are going to miss. Oh well. I think he's decided to stop. Enemy destroyer. A lone torpedo. Torpedoes away at that cruiser because he looks like he's stationary. Once again, I'm going to have to leave the capture point. Although I'll be going straight into another one. And he's now reversing, which means all those torpedoes again are going to miss. Typical, isn't it? Anyway. Oh, that's what spotted me. Alright, he looks pretty vulnerable. Actually, he looks pretty dead to me. Now then. Battleship is in torpedo range. Well, that cruiser is a much better target. Turn around, stay in the capture point, and hopefully I can get B. There we go.
Our team has taken the lead.
Captured point B, and our team is now slowly gaining points. And once again, all those torpedoes are going to miss. Once again, I don't really care. They're going that way. Right. Has he stopped? I think he has. Yeah, alright, alright. Little warning sound to tell you that they're about to run aground. But when you're in a destroyer, you can usually steer clear in one direction or another. I'm not going to go and try and capture A because there's probably a whole bunch of enemy ships over there and no allied ships at all. It's quite clear to see the possible outcome of that. More torpedoes away. Turn around again. Looks like we've captured point C as well. Nice work, team. We're losing, mind you. On ships and points. Is he stationary? No, he isn't. It's a destroyer's dream, that, to find a stationary ship to launch torpedoes at, because it means you don't have to aim properly, you know. More torpedoes away. The enemy team have captured A, and now he's going to die before I get the chance, isn't he? Trying to bring the guns round, but another reason why the guns are so terrible on Japanese destroyers is that they don't turn very quickly at all. More torpedoes away. Guns are now turned round. Fire the guns. Always fire high explosive at destroyers, because it's just better. He's turning away from the torpedoes, absolutely the right thing to do. Will cause them critical damage. Oh, he narrowly misses that last torpedo. Oh. Yeah, he wasn't going to get out of that alive. There are two other consumables available on destroyers, by the way. There's the damage control ability, which you can see down here. That will send people on your ship to go and put out fires if you're on fire, or mend torpedo tubes or gun turrets, things like that. Keep your ship going if it receives critical hits. And there's also down here engine boost, which for a limited time only improves your engine speed, which is very, very useful if you need to make a clean getaway. Now I don't need to use it here because I'm not in range for them to spot me. You see, unlike in World of Tanks, in World of Tanks it's all about your view range. Well, that doesn't really exist in World of Warships. It's about your detectability range. It doesn't matter how good or bad the enemy's ship is. It depends on how big yours is, really. That determines alone whether you get spotted or not. Yep, looks like one torpedo is going to hit. Yes. Lovely. 7,347 damage. Which, as you can see, is quite a sizable portion of his health.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Now then. There's a smoke screen up there, which means the enemy destroyer is going to be up there somewhere. Presumably he's the one who launched those torpedoes. Can I get the guns to work? Well, yeah, I can, but he's dead anyway. There's that destroyer. Looks like he's receiving hits. The enemy team captured point B, by the way, which means they're now winning. Well, they've got more ships anyway. They're going to be winning, whether they had the capture points or not. I think it's time to kill that destroyer. One thing I have learnt, however, in Japanese destroyers is you shouldn't really dogfight in close quarters with another destroyer, especially if it's an American one, because your guns will simply not turn around fast enough to keep up with the speed of your ship.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
you keep at range and you make a sudden strike like that and the ship's not moving very fast in reverse, then you can usually get away with it. Now then, got to wait to get some more. There we are. Torpedoes are in the water. Now then, let's fire the guns. Let's see if I can set them on fire or something with high explosive, of course. That's what high explosive loves to do. Can't tell whether the torpedoes are accurate or not. Yes, just accurate enough to get one hit. And I've got to turn around, make sure I stay in this capture zone and out of line of fire of those nasty looking ships over there. Oh, torpedo tubes are of course on the other side of the ship. They had to turn round. I couldn't fire torpedoes at that battleship. But I am just about to capture point B. There we go. Again.
Our team has taken the lead.
Although we're still trailing behind on points by quite a long way. We're just now gaining them faster. I might go and try and capture point A now, actually. Torpedoes in the water. I've been detected. That's it. I'm deploying smoke screen again.
Smoke generator started.
I'm about to enter capture point A now. Here we go. I apologise in advance, by the way, if this video is going to be longer than a usual World of Tanks video, but I'm showing you two games, and in World of Warships they can last as long as 20 minutes rather than 15 minutes. Okay. Damage control ability definitely needs to go on, and I'll put the engine boost on. I'll put some more torpedoes in the water against that battleship, and get the hell out of here. When I'm getting shot at, I can't capture point A. I just need to use my maneuverability and speed now, with the aid of this speed boost consumable, to get the hell out of here and regroup with my friendly battleship. I was about to say allies before I noticed there was only one of them left. Two of my 3 gun turrets have been knocked out, but I don't really care. They're only my gun turrets, they're not my torpedo tubes. And they all missed. Still, he's in range. Torpedoes in the water. By default, by the way, you only get 2 charges of the smoke screen and the engine boost. Consequently, I've got no more smoke screens available. Are they going to hit? No. Right. That battleship is not looking very healthy back there. I've got to come around this island. My engine boost will be deactivated in 5 seconds. I've now been detected.
Engine boost deactivated.
Torpedoes in the water. He's travelling straight towards them. If he doesn't turn around, then they're going to hit. Or at least some of them are. I'm going to come around this island. He dodged all of them. Sneaky so-and-so. Well, it's time for me to be a sneaky so-and-so now. As I come around the other side of the island while they're busy engaging the friendly battleship over there. It's time for me to come around and effectively flank these two.
Our team depends upon you.
Yes, it does. I'm now the last one left alive on my team. No pressure or anything. I'm in a destroyer with half health. And I've got 3 battleships and the cruiser to kill.
The enemy is about to win.
Well, in a way I'd rather not die. So I'm glad they're capturing point B.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
Oh dear, need to get out of here. I'm in secondary gun battery range of that battleship. And he's going to fire his main batteries now. They all missed. I've got no smoke screen, I've got no way of concealing myself. I can just use islands as cover right now. If I can get in real close to this battleship without him killing me, I can launch my torpedoes, then it will be a lovely sudden strike. And they're almost up. Come on. Yes, here we go. There they go. And I'm dead. And when the last person dies, the battle automatically ends, which means we don't see those torpedoes go any further. As it happens, I did the best on my team in terms of experience. But, yeah. The enemy team were better. So there we are, viewers. That is some destroyer action in World of Warships for you. In the next World of Warships video that I'll do, I'll show you some cruiser action. And then after that I'll show you some battleship action, and then hopefully by that time I'll also have an aircraft carrier. I don't at the moment, they only start at tier 4, to show you as well. As always, I hope you have enjoyed watching, and good luck on the battlefield.